So Destined Rivals released less than a week ago, and the SIRs in the set are already having massive price drops. Let's get to it. All right, guys, welcome back to another video. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts. Prices on all these singles are dropping heavily. But yeah, let's get to it. So the first card we're starting with is the Team Rocket's Mewtwo SR. So this card was pre-releasing for about $500 to $900 on some cases, and market price now is sitting at $352, which is an insane price drop in comparison to what we had pre-release, even what we had on the first official day of release. It's just come down from $366 to the $352 that we have now, but there were clearly prices somewhere above $400. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Like, this market is incredibly inflated, and in times like these, people are just making crazy buys at insanely high prices. I'm not surprised whatsoever. But yeah, let's get to the Cynthia's Garchomp and see how that's dropped. So the Cynthia's Garchomp was pre-releasing for $200 to $300, and sorry, $250 to $300, and so it's now sitting at $195 just 4 days after the official release. Once again, just a steep drop. Some of these sales were at $295. We are at $195, which is $100 less than what we had on the official release. People are still buying the card. They're still buying all of these cards. Actually, there's still sales every single day at different prices. They're starting to settle at the prices that they are now. It seems like people are getting comfortable with buying them at these prices. This is for every card. This is also for the Mewtwo. They're definitely getting comfortable buying at these prices, which is definitely going to start to create some kind of a trend. It's going to start stabilizing somewhere around here. So yeah, now let's look at the Ethan's Ho-Oh. The Ethan's Ho-Oh was pre-releasing somewhere from $225 to $300. So those were all the sales on eBay at pre-release, and we are now sitting at $156 market price. These are clearly buys that people made trying to make grading plays, which you've seen now. If you've been looking around, there are slabs already out of the Ethan's Ho-Oh and all of these other SIRs, which is insane. Like, people are not wasting any time. They're paying the premium, and PSA is getting those cards right back to them. So yeah, once again, sales every single day. And these prices are going to start to find stabilization. They're just going to start sitting somewhere around here. It looks like the Ethan's Ho-Oh is getting bought out a lot at $150 average, I would say. Some under, some above, but it's about $150. And it looks like people are going to get comfortable around that $150 price. This is a really nice card anyways. Like, I'm not surprised. This set has amazing SIRs, and they are all, in all honesty, if you compare them to the other sets, most of the SIRs and the sets don't compare to these prices anyways. These are 6 SIRs that, when you add up price as a total package, they're worth more, aside from prismatic evolutions. We all know that. Now, the Team Rocket's Moltres was selling at $140 to $200 at pre-release, and we are now sitting at $140. That low of $140 at pre-release kind of stuck, but it still dropped from that $200 price range that some people were buying at. This one hasn't dropped so much. This is the one that I probably expected to drop the least, just because this card was just desired by so many. Like, this is my favorite chase in the set. I love this card. This, to me, is by far my favorite Moltres art ever made. And I know a lot of other people feel the same way. So I am not surprised at all that it's still staying at that price. $140 for this price, I'm not surprised. Like I said before, a lot of sales every single day, all sitting around that price of $140 for this card. It's probably going to find stabilization somewhere at 130 to 140, which is not bad for this card. This card can really blow out some of the other cards here. I expect it to really blow out the Ethan's Ho-Oh. I'm not saying that the Aether's Hole isn't a good card or it doesn't look nice, because it does. It's a great card. I just feel like this one is better than that card. But with that being said, let's move on to the next card, which is the Nidoking. Nidoking being a classic Giovanni's Pokemon. There's like no game out there where Giovanni doesn't have a Nidoking. So it's just so iconic, like very nostalgic. I love this card. But so the Nidoking was selling at pre-release at $120, $120. And I said before that this card was going to drop. I was saying that it would drop somewhere to like $50 at some point. And it is at $91. It's at $91. It may find a stabilization at like 70. I think that $70 would be decent for this card. It's definitely being bought at somewhere from $85 to $90 on average. So it's probably going to find stabilization around there for a little while till the hype for Destined Rivals dies down. As a matter of fact, for all these cards, they're probably, even though they find stabilization, they'll probably die down just a little more once the hype moves on to something else. Once Black and White comes out, for example, then people are going to have their eyes on that and they'll start dropping, just like every other set. The singles drop a little bit further once attention is on something else. So the next card, the next SIR is the Crobat, which I actually love this Crobat. Some people just aren't a fan of Crobat like that, but this is an amazing Crobat card. Like, this is a beautiful card. You have the Zubats in there, the Golbats. It's such a cool card. It's so cool. I love this card. I love the colors on it. It's a beautiful card. So this card was selling for $100 pre-release, and it is now sitting at $71. Now, because people don't find the Crobat to be such an amazing Pokemon, it's not someone's, like most people's favorites. It's probably gonna drop down even further. I'm not gonna be surprised if this card drops down to like $30. To be honest, this would be a very, very nice pickup at $30 for an SIR. And we've seen other SIRs drop to $30, so it wouldn't be a surprise if it did. But it'll just take a little time. Like I said before, once the hype from Destined Rivals dies down, this card will definitely drop even further. Another thing was the sealed product. If we looked at the sealed, even though I know that we're talking about the singles, the booster box hasn't really dropped. I know that pre-release there were some sales at like $400 and something, maybe in the 300s even. At release, they were selling at $265, and they haven't dropped much. They're at $253 right now. I thought they were going to drop a bit further, being that it's so new and it's going to be readily available for people for a good amount of time. I thought that they would at least drop to $220, but I think it just might take another reprint or more booster boxes to come out for it to drop that far down. And it also depends on the demand. It depends on the hype. People definitely believe like this is going to be the strongest set in the Scarlet Violet era when it comes to an investment, and I really do believe that it is going to be that. I definitely already said before that I think this is going to be the #1 set in the Scarlet Violet era. It just has too much in it. Like, it's so good. These 3-pack blisters were selling for about $45, which was insane. I'm glad they've dropped down to 26 because they're popping up everywhere. They were at GameStop, Target, Walmart. They keep popping up everywhere. People are buying them online. They're just getting sold like crazy. They're coming out. It's just hotcakes everywhere. What else was here? The booster bundle dropped a bit from about $63, I think it was, at pre-release, and it dropped a bit to $50. I still don't know why the build and battle is selling for about $60. I don't know why. I don't know if that little deck inside there is that valuable. I got myself a deck from a pre-release event I went to. I got the Typhlosion one. I don't see what's so good about this build and battle in comparison to every other build and battle we had before this. I don't get it. The single booster pack dropped a little bit. I think it was sitting at $9 before, and it's at $7 now, or $8. And the sleeve blister, the sleeve booster pack, what was it at? Like 13? Where is it? I don't even see it here. You got this huge bundle pack. Here it is, $8.50. $8.50. That definitely dropped. I'm pretty sure it was at, maybe it was at 11, but I think it was at $13. But yeah, guys, a lot of drops in prices. The only thing that's really, really holding up is the booster box. But basically every single Destined Rivals product, when it comes to singled and sealed, have dropped aside from the booster box. Oh, let's not forget the ETB was selling for $120 about. and I think it's at about $90 now. Yeah, it's at $91. $90 compared to the $120 that it was selling at pre-release. So definitely price drops across the board, except for one thing, which is the booster box. And that's also people who are selling it. They don't want to drop their prices. They know people are going to buy it. And for that reason, it's just not going to go down anytime soon. Possibly. I'm just assuming it's not going to go down anytime soon. And it sucks for a lot of us because we all want to get our hands on it, but at a much more affordable price. But yeah, man. With that being said, guys, don't forget, like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Stay safe out there. Peace.